AN-2 aircraft crashed in East Kazakhstan region near Oskimen Airport. Details of the cause of crash are in our news program. 3D prints of a perpetual motion machine and others are made by Kazakh scientists who use 3D graphics. Journalists of Kazakh TV discovered how new technologies contribute to many areas. Abai's legacy in virtual format for the convenience of those who want to learn about the works of the great Kazakh poet. Abai Information Resource Hub is opened in the US. Contemporary Central Asian artists in search of a new sacred meaning of ornaments presented their non-standard works. AN-2 aircraft made an emergency landing today in East Kazakhstan region as its engine caught fire. The air ambulance aircraft was on its way from Oskimen to Aksuat. 5 people were on board during the incident. 4 of the passengers had some abrasions and bruises but are in normal condition. Doctors from the local specialized medical center said that the passengers were released home for outpatient care. One of the pilots had a serious injury and was hospitalized.
Диагноз сейчас стоит у него разрыв.
He is diagnosed with acromioclavicular joint separation. It is the lightest injury that he received during the emergency landing. He needs to be under the dynamic observation now. The doctors will decide what to do next.
Здесь нужно просто динамическое наблюдение. Там дальше доктора решат.
Kazakh Chief State Sanitary Doctor Jibek Bekshin announced today that Kazakhstan plans to restrict air traffic with South Korea and completely suspend it with Iran. The new decree will come into force on March 1st, which is aimed to protect the country from the coronavirus outbreak. The coronavirus situation is deteriorating in many countries. The doctor said that over the past days, the number of people infected with COVID-19 has increased. Experts highly recommend Kazakhs who are currently in the high-risk countries to return to their homeland by March 1st. The restriction is applied not only to South Korea and Iran, but also to Japan, Italy, Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan. Returnees from the listed countries will be put into home quarantine. Medical staff will also constantly monitor healthy citizens.
У нас сейчас будет ограничение по количеству вылетов. До 1 марта даем возможность нашим гражданам вернуться.
We will introduce limitations on the number of departures. We give the opportunity for our citizens to return until March 1st. On a weekly basis, 9 flights depart to South Korea, 7 from Almaty and 2 from Nur Sultan. Our goal is to bring home our citizens as many as possible. The situation with Iran is much easier. There are only 170 Kazakh citizens. They will have to return until March 1st.
Порядка всего 170 наших граждан там находится. И до 1 марта они должны вернуться.
The possibility of restricting air traffic with Japan is under consideration. Meanwhile, no measures are being taken with other countries that have high cases of coronavirus at the moment. A new stage in history of Kazakhstan-Europe relations begins on March 1st. The EU-Kazakhstan Enhanced Partnership and Cooperation Agreement, signed on December 21st in 2015, will enter into force. Advisor to the first president of the country, Adil Tursunov, said that the success of the agreement shows an important historical landmark for both parties of horizons of political and economic interaction. It will also give a new impetus to the all-rounded dialogue between Kazakhstan and European Union as well as its member states, on a bilateral basis as well as on regional and global levels. The implementation of the agreement was successfully planned due to the high personal international authority of the first president of Kazakhstan. A regional office of the Hague Conference is opened in Nur Sultan. Based at the Astana International Financial Center, the office will ensure the development of legal system in Central Asia, taking into account world standards and increasing the effectiveness of protecting the rights and interests of citizens. The office will be responsible for implementing international obligations in the region as well as conduct joint research and lectures on private international law. Today, 82 countries and the EU, including 30 most developed countries in OECD, are participants of the International Convention. Kazakhstan has been a member of the convention since 2017.
It's the first antenna of its kind worldwide to further disseminate the message of the HCCH, the Hague Conference on Private National Law, across Central Asia and hopefully beyond. It's important because we can count on the very strong support of Kazakhstan. We certainly look forward to seeing Uzbekistan becoming a member of the HCCH. And then I also hope, of course, to have the other three remaining states, Tajikistan, which I visited already, Turkmenistan, which I visited already, and I look forward also maybe then to going to Kyrgyzstan.
The share of gas industry in Kazakhstan's GDP has reached 1.8%. In the next 10 years, the indicator is expected to double. The demand for the domestic market is increasing. 56% of the population is expected to be supplied with gas by 2030. Today, the total gas coverage is 51%. The Saryarka gas pipeline was completed last year. The next step is to create distribution networks. About 2.7 million residents in 171 settlements will soon have access to natural gas, starting from Kyzyl to Nur Sultan City. From 2020 until 2022, 62 projects worth 140 billion tenge will be implemented in the country.
С 2006 года реализовано более 200 проектов по газификации.
More than 200 projects have been implemented since 2006 under the country's gasification program. As a result, 9.5 million people are now supplied with gas. Currently, the start of construction of the second and third stages of the Saryarka gas pipeline is being discussed, and a plan is being developed. The gas distribution pipeline will start from Nur Sultan and reach Kokshetau and Petropavlovsk. This will allow supplying natural gas to all settlements along the main line. As a result, the number of people who have access to gas will increase by an additional of 3.5 million.
Население газифицировано увеличится там до более 3,5 миллиона человек.
3D printing can be applied in a range of areas such as dentures, implants, air rifles, spare parts for equipment, and prototypes of manufacturing parts. It's been several years since the specialized company in Almaty has launched the full cycle from 3D modeling to 3D printing and scanning. The company only uses environmentally friendly materials. First of all, the enterprise prefers to use the materials of local manufacturers.
Например, ПЛА-пластик, который очень массово у нас используется, он считается экологически.
For example, widely used PVA plastic is considered as an environmentally friendly material. The plastic is used to make disposable plates. In addition, we always cooperate with doctors when it comes to projects related to medicine and humans. For example, neurosurgery.
Протезы или там что-то с нейрохирургией или со стоматологией мы всегда делаем с врачами.
Orders are received from all over the country, including from major companies and private entrepreneurs. Based on information of the company, sometimes there are unique orders.
Заказывают, начинают от...
People order prototypes. Once we printed a prototype of a perpetual motion machine. First, we print it for a client, and then the client tests it, whether it works fine. If it doesn't work, we print it again.
По новой печатаем.
The company has many plans for the future. First of all, the company plans to implement projects on city scanning and creating a weekly updated 3D map.
У нас уже один был такой проект, мы отсканировали.
We've had a similar project. We scanned the mountains where our clients plan to install 150-meter-long wind generators. So we scanned the entire territory. Then, with the help of other contractors, we measured the wind speed, and so on. It turned out to be a good map, which helps the clients to find a better location for the project.
Прям вполне себе карта для принятия решений, где лучше всего это делать.
The company's management team plans to introduce its 3D products to markets in Central Asia and Europe. Experts say that there are a lot of opportunities in these markets. Moreover, the high-quality raw materials, including those from local producers, allow purchasing them at affordable prices.
Hydropower Central Asia and the Caspian 2020 Annual Forum was held in Bishkek. Topics that were discussed at the event include increasing electricity generation, effectively using natural resources for energy, and identifying innovations that are most efficient in the industry. Countries of the Caspian region have recently intensified the growth of industrial production, given that traditional energy sources are not able to cope with the growing demand of enterprises. Representative of energy companies said that the coordinated work of governments in all of the countries is necessary. There is a need to attract investments in the energy industry as well as create effective mechanism to finance new energy projects in the future.
Один из перспективных проектов, который планируется начать, это
One of the prospective projects that is planned to be launched is the construction of Kerbulak Hydroelectric Station, the counter-regulatory Kapshagai Hydroelectric Station. The project will be built by Samruk Energo in the near future. We are looking for partners to implement this project together and at the same time attract development institutions and funding sources. The project is well planned and developed.
этого проекта. Проект достаточно хорошо проработан.
Another topic that is most discussed at the International Forum is small hydroelectric sector. The industry is a very promising area for countries in the region given the height difference of mountain area that is typical for Central Asia.
Мы имеем на сегодняшний день порядка 130 створов.
We have about 130 dams at the moment. If we accept and approve this provision now, we will provide a roadmap to local and foreign investors. They will understand how to move forward with the project. I will certainly not be mistaken if I say that we are close to the boom of the development of renewable energy sources.
Обновляем источники энергии, мы находимся на пороге бума.
Many modern technical innovations for the small hydroelectric stations were presented in the forum. Moreover, the use of some equipment has been effectively proven in Central Asian countries. An exhibition of plastic foam ornaments made by modern artists from Central Asian countries is held in Almaty. Vision of the ancient genre of the arts and crafts has been presented by Uzbek artist Dilyara Kaipova, Kyrgyz graphic designer Marat Raimkulov, and Kazakh masters Bakhet Bubikanova, as well as Yelena and Viktor Vorobyov. A special creative spirit is felt in every work of the craftsmen, which boldly combines visual and applied art, traditions and innovations, national motifs and modern decorative solutions.
Мы не придерживаемся какой-то одной техники по той причине, что каждый проект следует.
We do not use only one technique because each project should be showcased in the highest normal form. Another reason is that we have many various works involving photographic projects, installations, other objects and paintings.
Живопись, в принципе, по-разному.
We hold exhibitions quite regularly, at least 4 times a year. We hold group exhibitions and shows once a year. For example, right now, private exhibitions of various artists from Central Asian countries are held 3 times a year. We focus exactly on artists from Central Asia, Kazakhstan, and the Commonwealth of Independent States.
СНГ.
Traditional Kazakh dishes have been presented to gourmets in Moscow. Famous chef in Nur-Sultan, Artyom Kantsev, has showed unique Kazakh cuisine in the new interpretation in Moscow. The menu included traditional kaza and shuzhik, as well as jerky and beshbarmak, which were served on special wooden plate that is called astau. The Kazakh chef spoke about the features of Kazakh cuisine and the technology used to cook the delicacies. During the period of the nomadic lifestyle, an uninvited guest or even a foe would not be left alone in the steppe. The person will be invited to the table to eat beshbarmak and will be given the neck part of the animal. Here you will try aged horse meat that is specially kept in the mountains outdoors for about 1 month. The meat is dried by the wind. A gastronomic dinner was held in one of the popular restaurants in Moscow. The highlight of the event is the chef's table system, which is very popular in restaurants in the United States and European countries. Based on the system, an invited masters of haute cuisine takes the place of a restaurant's permanent chef temporarily. Kazakh professional chef Artyom Kantsev is one of them. The works of Abai Joly can be learned by an interested person worldwide. The Center of Abai Joly is opened in the United States. Works of the great Kazakh poet were published in English on the center's website. The philosopher's words of edification is very popular. In addition, scientific works and articles of American experts about the culture, history, archaeology, and art of Kazakhstan will also be posted on the website. The Center of Abai plans to organize lectures, photo exhibitions, and film screenings dedicated to the country of the Great Steppe.